Topa, and I think it's probably everybody's most looked forward to semifinals match.
Yeah, definitely. Obabo is coming up, and I did a little bit of scouting in between during that break too on Pooh. Obviously, we know that Obabo was streaming his matches up until the very end here, and we're getting right in the game. But what I was going to say that Pooh has also been first picking Vanessa, so these two players have been sharing that first pick Vanessa, and that's to me when things get extremely interesting is see that dynamic between that contested first pick and how the players interacted. Do they decide to pre-ban it, or do they, how do they then adapt when that comfort, the first pick, is taken away? So we'll probably see Obabo take that Vanessa first, and then we can see Pooh's response.
Man, you said it. I love the espionage, by the way, Topa. I'm so glad that you did a little digging to find out what these players are doing. But you said it. I think the art of the pivot is probably the biggest indicator for experience in Summoner's War, and it's really where you start to see players sweat and come up with creative solutions to complex problems. So let's see what Pooh does. I think this Vanessa first pick, it may have thrown him for a little bit of a loop. He pivots over to Oliver and Shiho, two mainstays of the season.
Yeah, I'm not surprised to see that. Since Vanessa is gone, you want to pick up the other 33 speed lead. Well, main 33 speed lead. Obviously, there are a couple other options, but those are less utilized. And then, that Shiho. He did also pre-ban that Sonya. And wow, Obabo going back to his Efna. I wonder, if he actually took the rune set off of Sonya and put her on Efna for this.
Oh, that's an interesting thought. And maybe the Hagang could be foreshadowing a Wind Twin Angels pick. I mean, we've been talking up and down about the utility of the Wind Twin Angels combined with Hagang, providing a consistent source of buffs, so you just keep getting procs of his passive when they get removed incidentally.
Yeah, but Pooh has the response to this F9. As weak as Ragdoll has kind of become in current meta, I mean, Ragdoll is still a phenomenal unit against that F9 there, as well as, Obabo might have taken the Hagang preemptively to protect himself against a Fire Megumi, which is another unit that kind of pushed F9 out of meta. But, you had that great call there as well. There's the Wind Twins being picked up by Obabo. Great pick.
Thank you, man. Let's see where he goes with this. He's picking a lot of critting monsters, so he might need to ban out the Ragdoll, which gives Pooh a big opportunity here to pick something even more devastating to Obabo. Now, off the top of my head, I don't know what that would be, but if he is really confident in that Ragdoll soaking up the ban, he might get a free pick here.
Yeah, I'm thinking maybe a Juno could be okay. Juno, and you're looking to ban that Hagang if you're Pooh's side, but we'll see what he picks here. Just go with a fire unit, quite a bit more of a crowd controlling one that fits those first couple picks of the Oliver and the Monkey. But we'll see what they decide to ban out here. I don't know. Is that Ragdoll still a ban? It might have to be the ban.
I think you made a good call with that. I mean, it is a big hindrance to him, and the Zeratul soaks it up. The big damage source. So now Obabo is at element disadvantage for half the team here with his main source of damage. Let's see how this plays out in game here. We're going into match 1 of this set between Obabo and Pooh. Let's see how this goes.
Yeah, and that is most likely looking like the Sonya set on this Efna, because that outspeeds the Shiho, which is probably extremely fast as well. Opts to not go for the Shiho in favor of getting that immunity on itself that then gives it the protection that the Hagang passive gives. So I like that play by Obabo.
Oh, and I'm actually a little surprised that he went for the skill 3 there, knowing that Hagang is going to be here to strip it, even if the Twin Angels missed. There wasn't a whole lot of value to be had. It looked like there's a chance it could have been an auto pick. Well, the only thing is it went off element, so it probably wasn't auto.
Yeah, and then Pooh getting a huge violent proc there on the Okeanos, and with that recent buff, getting that reset on the Efna. Efna is still basically the only damage dealer on Obabo's side, so if Pooh can control this Efna, which now this Oliver is probably going to do a pretty good job at, Pooh is definitely sitting quite pretty in this match.
Yeah. Oh, man. The thing is, the draft on Pooh's side seems to me like it could age really well into this game as we transition here into like the mid to late game. We'll see if Obabo can make something impactful happen here, namely taking out one of these fire units ASAP.
Yeah, it needs his Hagen to do something, but it does absolutely nothing. It doesn't get glancing on either one of the fire units, and that is going to be a dead Efna. Now getting revived by the Vanessa, but the Bayek is, ready with that skill 3, and that's probably going to spell end to this Efna as well as Obabo's chance of winning.
Yeah, this is a tough break for Obabo. Too much fire, the too many threats, too many equal ban options in the pick ban phase, right? Like the Ragdoll was clearly a threat, but when there's so many wind units on your team, you'd really rather take out a fire pick.
Yeah, just, this kind of just goes to show that, like, as dominant as Efna can be, when it's drafted that early in the draft against someone as experienced, as, capable as Pooh here, he's definitely able to pick up on that, on the weakness of Efna, which he does have weakness, mainly that Ragdoll is a huge one of them. Obabo having to ban that out, and then, he's still left with these couple fire units here that he still doesn't have a great answer against, so...
Yeah, very well executed by Pooh. Although I will say, you don't quit yet, right? We say that all the time. If it's the Legend tournament, you don't quit. Just kind of let it play through. Think through your next draft in the meantime, but try to win with the units you got. So you never know. Play it out a few more turns. Unfortunately, losing one more unit is enough to say the writing is on the wall there. So that's going to be one in the favor of Pooh. So Toba, what does Obabo need to do to pull it together in the next round?
I would have liked to see him go with that Zeratul maybe a bit earlier there instead of that Efna, as mentioned during the match, like Efna can be extremely strong, but it's also somewhat counterable, and Pooh did a great job of exploiting that. And then once that Efna was taken care of, there really just wasn't enough in Obabo's draft. So maybe picking something a bit more neutral, neutral element like Zeratul, or even like a Han or the Jack that Obabo has as well, would be maybe perform a little bit better.
I think that's super apt, to be honest. I mean, you said it, element neutrality is oftentimes so important in the beginning, right? Because it's like, it's too easy to play around. I mean, he drafted fire units to counter it, Ragdoll to counter it. Let's see if Obabo can pick up on this potential weakness of the team and leverage it up against Pooh here. It is by no means over in a best of 3. Pooh's not even at match point yet. See how these players decide to mix things up, and if Vanessa will appear in the pre-ban phase.
Yeah, they're really taking their time thinking about this pre-ban here. And does Pooh even have a Tianlang? I need to do a real quick check. Oh, he does have a Tianlang. All right. I thought for a second there, I haven't really seen Pooh.
I love the espionage, bro.
So, yeah, but Obabo banning that Tianlang, and Pooh, definitely respecting that Zeratul, puts it in the pre-ban, and we'll see if he steals that Vanessa away from Obabo now.
I wouldn't be surprised if we saw her appear in that first pick. Let's see, he's opting for the Water Monkey King instead. Man, that really shows you how powerful this monster's become.
Yeah, it really has. Shiho feels like one of those developer favorite units. You see it appear in almost like every other balance patch, and maybe now he's finally reached his final form because he's seen a lot of play. That is definitely one meta-defining monster, if you ask me, this season.
Big time. Now, it would be doubling up on elements a little early, but is that enough to take the Hay Gang with him? Maybe not. He's going for his core here, featuring Oliver and Okeanos.
Yeah, that is definitely one of the holy trinities, I would say, this season is the Oliver, Water Monkey, and Okeanos. You have that trifecta of elements, and you got the speed lead. You have the base speed, high fast unit, as well as a nice amount of crowd control. Obabo is still favoring that Efna of his.
It must have the Sonya runes on it. It's got to have something like a powerful set. I will say that I prefer the Etna appearing around here, but well, I mean, look at this. Pooh is so ready to deal with it. He doesn't even have his Ragdoll out, and he's countering. No way. Oh my goodness, what a pick. What a pick. I actually, yeah. Oh my gosh, Pooh. That's an extremely good choice, actually.
Yeah, that feels phenomenal. I mean, yeah, obviously Obabo's last pick can deal with the Douglas, but if that's, or once that last pick is banned out, I mean, there's nothing really left to deal with this Douglas. So, Obabo maybe once again a slight misstep on the draft, and I think he's favoring this Efna a bit too much.
Yeah, it could be too much leaning on it. I mean, really, I think it's just a banning of the last picks potentially. Yeah, that's all it is there. Now we just work with what we got. Let's see if Obabo can pull through up against Pooh's draft here. If he can get an early kill on Shiho or Oliver with the Etna, that would mean a lot for his comp.
Ooh, goes for the
Let's see.
greedy S2 there and gets rewarded with it, getting the defense break on the monkey and the full attack bar, and that monkey is gone right away.
That's exactly what you want to see. That is what the ragdoll was punishing before. It was eliminating the option to open with the skill 2, set up defense break, and knock it out. That was really well done.
Wow, and the Oliver also missing the reset on the F-nut there. So, yeah, I would have maybe liked to see on Pooh's side, instead of the Meeing, just pick that Ragdoll again. You know, Obabo has even a Juno this time that is going to be critting every time. So, I feel like Ragdoll would have done a lot here. And it also would have prevented the F-nut from using a skill 2 turn 1. But this Meeing can also, we also seen, you know, Meeing since that recent buff, he has been a menace on the ladder and in RTA in general. We'll see what he can do here.
Yeah, he really found his niche as a hybrid bruiser and anti-crowd control unit. I'd love to see that for Mi Ying and Mi Ying owners. That actually might spell death for Etna, soaking up the Vanessa skill 3 here.
Yeah, I definitely do like that play from Obabo still, setting up those defense breaks and, you know, now going to be getting a lot of damage. I don't think it's going to be quite enough to take out the Okeanos, but gets a nice Despair stun, but then Okeanos responding right back with Violent Proc, but not getting that many stuns.
Yeah, not too many. And also the fact that Etna's hanging on by 1 HP means that now Pooh has to sink at least one more turn into it with something, which actually is a big thing for Obabo, where one turn sometimes can mean the difference.
Yeah, definitely. But Obabo is looking to be in a good spot here. This Juno is going to be very difficult for Pooh to take out. The Mean can obviously do it, but when, you know, Obabo has still the all of 3 of his other units here in the match as well, seems a bit far-fetched.
It does. Yeah, that Juno might be all he needs. That might be the 1-point monster right there. That Juno might be the one to get a point on the board for him. This is really well done. Folks in chat pointing out how powerful that Okeanos has been. How it's been a procking machine. Dude, the Oki's been killing it for Pooh.
Wow, the Vanessa passive is back up. You know, Pooh making a misplay. They're not getting that kill, and okay, where did the Mean go?
Wait, how much attack is on this Etna? Did it shred through his passive? Did it bypass the reduction of damage?
Oh yeah, it definitely did. It got revived by the Vanessa, so it came back with
so
the
it
attack,
had the attack buff.
And yeah, it had attack
Dude,
buff. And I've noticed that too.
So
you know,
sick.
once you bypass the Meeing's damage reduction passive, he feels so squishy, and we saw that right there. You know, I mean, obviously Obabo has phenomenal rune quality on the FNA. There's a reason that, you know, he has been putting so much priority on that FNA pick, and well, it showed there. You know, that FNA definitely turned the tide of the battle there.
Really well done. I was right there with you, dude. I was doubting the Etna, but I loved the way he leveraged it, and he went for the semi-risky skill 2, got rewarded, got that early kill on She-Hulk. He saw that path to victory and remembered that it wasn't on Will. That was another thing too. I did not remember that the monkey was off Will, so that's pretty awesome.
Yeah, you know, again, that FNAT did work out very well there, since Pooh didn't pick up that Ragdoll. I would have liked to see Pooh pick up the Ragdoll instead of the Meeting in that last match. And, you know, maybe the game plays out differently, but I guess we will never know. And we're back to the same pre-bans as in round 1. You know, Pooh, I guess he is definitely not listening to our cast, or he just doesn't believe it, because he is still pre-banning that Sonya, which is probably unruined currently.
Yeah, he's probably not listening in. These players are. This is a very fun set to watch, I have to say. Like, these guys are really even right here. They're doing a great job. Oh, Pooh actually steals the Wind Twin Angels. This is exactly what you were talking about, Topo, where people start stealing units so they have to dig deeper.
Yeah, now we see the adaptability here coming out, and once again, the FNA, you know, I mean, the FNA is a great pick into the Water Monkey that Pooh has been favoring so much, because Pooh, even if he picks a speed lead here, he knows that he doesn't outspeed this FNA. You know, he would have to ban the Vanessa, but now we see the return of the Ragdoll that is probably going to have to be banned by Obabo, but that Irene is a phenomenal pick into it.
That's perfect. It's almost like a second ban. That Irene third skill, where you can just put something in the bag and put it away. That's what we were jokingly calling Jogun's skill 2 earlier in the stream. So he doesn't even have to do it. And a Doman. Oh, what?
Oh, I love these picks from Obabo. This is looking really good. But I do wonder. No, there's maybe with a Water Twin. If a Pooh picks a Water Twin here, and bans out the Vanessa, I think he can. No, never mind. If it just gets banned out, then Defna will still go first. So yeah, Obabo's draft is looking to be in a pretty solid position here. I definitely like this position.
Yeah, and it looks like he's going to have a little bit of room to breathe in the beginning too. I would think. Let's see if Etna takes the ban here. No, so the Doman. So he does not want to fight the Doman, which I don't blame him at all. And Ragdoll, of course, takes the ban.
Yeah, but this seems really good for Obabo now. You know, I don't as scary as the Dooman is there, but Efna going for the skill 2 and doesn't get enough crits on the bike this time, so the monkey actually cuts in, but I don't think it'll make a difference since it's still got defense broken and Efna can't remove those buffs.
Yeah, let's see if it strips through. He's thinking about it. You got to go for it. Oh, a little bit too late on the steals, but still worth it thanks to that stun at the end.
Well, the stun is going to be cleansed by this Bayek, so if he doesn't get this monkey out, this is big trouble for Obabo here.
It's a really good
Can
point.
Juno do it? Does she do it?
Can she do it? Do it! Go! Go! Oh,
Oh, he was praying at that moment, but yeah, so close, but not enough. And I mean, how do you come back from this? As Obabo, you kind of used everything, and it wasn't enough. So I think this is just a GG go next angle.
Yeah, you might be right. I think, yeah, look at that. And now Irene needs to proc to do anything. Oh dear. Yeah, this is looking a little bit rough. I guess you stay in as long as Juno is alive, to be honest, but I'm with you, man. This is a tough mountain to climb if you're Obabo.
Yeah, well, even with the Juno, it's a bit hopeless into this meeting here. You know, you don't have your Efna to one-shot this meeting this time. And Juno, if it stuns the meeting, you know, the passive's going to pop right up and just cleanse it, pick it back up. So, I mean, there is no chance here for Obabo, but he's still not out of it. Because, again, we are playing best of 5, so he does have a chance for a comeback.
Well said. The only difference now is that Pooh is officially at match point. He gets one more win. He's going to move forward to meet Diligent in the finals. So Obabo's got to turn it on right now. It's time to lock in. Obabo's got to lock in.
Yeah, if, you know, Obabo does take this next game and we do go to a game 5, if he wants to play that similar style draft with, you know, the Vanessa and the Efna, I would like to see him pre-ban that Ragdoll, right? I mean, that Ragdoll has made it out, not even as a last pick from Pooh, and Obabo has still had to ban it both times in round 1 and 3, and still lost both of those times. So that Ragdoll has really been a thorn in his side. But before we get there, you know, Obabo does need to take this game 4. That, you know, draft might be a little bit different here.
Yeah, I think your analysis is spot on, Topa. Like, really well said. Like, I think the Ragdoll needs to appear here. It is hindering him greatly as long as he's leaning on the Etna. So I think getting that out would be really important for him. Let's see if he decides that it's the same way. No, he opts to pre-ban the Mi Ying. I mean, the Mi Ying has taken a lot of kills, so I get why, but yeah, the Ragdoll is hindering the Etna.
Yeah, and Pooh, you know, realizing that he does have his Gianna available here, so just pre-banning out the Hey gang, so we probably going to be see Pooh pick up a Gianna at some point in this draft, and now he does go for the steal on the Vanessa.
Oh, and Obabo's got the backup speed lead with the Fire Exorcist Association Conjurer, formerly known as Tetsuo.
Yeah, as well as taking the monkey now, so, you know, Obabo also just taking the monkey away, so we might not be seeing an Efna from Obabo's side this time. Maybe Pooh now taking an Ashir, you know, just still wants some sort of a speed threat, and that Gianna is coming out to play.
Yeah, Pooh's he is going way faster this time. He really wants turn 1.
Yeah, you know, Obabo could still be picking up the Efna. One of the bigger counters to Efna is actually the Hey gang as well. But, you know, Pooh still does have 2 more picks, and there is already 1 fire unit on the board. So the Efna does come out, but will, you know, Pooh find the appropriate counters to it?
Yeah, this is, you highlighted something really important there, is that, like, that Hey gang being a counter for Etna, but I think, you know, Pooh put that down there so that way he could freely pick the Gianna. I don't know if he realizes that this is a big opportunity for Obabo.
Oh my goodness, those LD picks are pretty backbreaking against Obabo's draft, though. You know, Pooh, yeah, he does have the, He does have the and find the answers to this comp, and I mean, I think Ragdoll just has to be banned again. So we'll see what Obabo can last pick to maybe make a difference in this battle.
Yeah, either that or like ban Gianna and pick a Tasarion or something. I don't know. I don't know, dude. Yeah, the Rakuni's a cute thing. Oh, Veramos. Yeah, cleanse the bombs, baby. That's what I'm talking about.
Okay, that I really like that pick. That is a phenomenal last pick. I think. Well, do you outspeed this year? That's a big question here because you actually do have a lower speed lead here. You could ban out the Ragdoll here. That takes out a lot of the direct damage from Pooh's side. And then if the Vermos is let through, it's gonna cleanse all the bombs and there's not much damage left. So Pooh knowing that bans out the Vermos, but now it does have the 33 Ashir against a 28 F. Now who takes turn 1 here? And it is the F now.
Let's see. Oh, yeah, and that's just narrowly squeezes by. This. Oh, he's going for the skill too. He gets enough crits. He gets enough crits, Topa.
Yeah, I think he had to go for that. Although that is actually not a very tanky issue. So maybe he didn't need to get that defense break. But also something to notice here is that Zenisek actually moves in front of the Gianna, which makes so that Obabo cannot stun that Gianna with his monkey here. Otherwise, it would just get cleansed up and get some attack bar from that Zenisek passive. So Obabo noticed that as well and wisely opts to go for the sheer kill instead.
Oh, well said, dude. That was a really good observation. Yeah, Zenisek's got one of those really pesky passives. It's got a couple different clauses on it that can kind of go forgotten if you're not careful.
Yeah, and Obabo had that great turn 1 there, but I think the draft is still falling a bit short here. Pooh getting that heal and speed buff up from the Ashur, now a bit stabilized, and Obabo sitting with 2 bombs on his head here, so it's not looking great for him.
It's not looking spectacular. He doesn't. There's not a super clean way to get rid of a Juno, so I'm hoping that maybe if he can get rid of the Ashir quickly, he might be able to kind of get ahead again with the Juno, but we'll have to see. It's a tall order to ask it to solo. Here's an opportunity, though. Shiho resisting the bomb and not dying, too. He can kind of stick around, try to get that invincibility back up. Never mind.
Yeah, no,
There's
no way, I mean, yeah, while you do want to target the Ashir here first, apparently I guess there is a debuff on the S1 on Vanessa because it's on Despair, but there, Zenisek heals on skill 1, Gianna has no debuffs on skill 1, there's just no debuffs, Juno can't do anything here, she's pretty handcuffed, and ultimately what it came down to is just Obabo's over-reliance on the F now.